someday, in the not-so-distant future, it happens. The moment you realize you're ready for anything. Get a degree in emergency management from Jacksonville State University and be ready for where you're going.
This is your Weather Xtreme video for Sunday, March the 9th. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you set your clocks forward 1 hour last night before you went to bed. There's a look at the Birmingham Skycam, and we have some clouds moving through the area and a cold front that will also be helping to bring temperatures down a couple of degrees. Up in Hamilton at the high school up there, it's cloudy this morning. There's the surface map, and we have high pressure over the Ohio Valley that is moving into the area, and we're seeing the front move through central Alabama. That will drop temperatures just a few degrees. In the meantime, aloft, we have a bit of a closed low occurring over northern Mexico that will be coming out across the Gulf Coast early in the week, and that will be producing some rain chances for us by late Tuesday and into Wednesday. Temperatures across the country looking a lot nicer. You can see the front, though, moving through the Ohio and Tennessee river valleys. Across central Alabama, the front showing up basically due to the wind shift primarily. But temperatures across the area generally in the 40s this morning, so a little bit warmer than we saw. But the rain somewhat limited. Most of the rain down across Louisiana and southern Mississippi, and even that is fairly limited. Rainfall over the next 5 days not expected to be that significant for us, with on the order of maybe a third to half an inch or so. Along the Gulf Coast, though, where the developing system will be occurring, we'll see more rainfall. And thanks to the cooler weather, of course, no organized severe storms. All right, the 06Z GFS model run this morning. And there's our pattern for today at midday, which now with the daylight savings time, 18Z, is now 1 p.m. So high pressure settling into our area. So once again, we should have a nice day. The high settles in across the southeastern U.S. on Monday, and in response to the upper ridge that builds for the time being, as we see that low moving across northern Mexico, and in the meantime, the westerlies a little bit further north along the Canadian border. By Tuesday, the closed low comes out across southeast Texas and into the vicinity of Lake Charles, and of course that will help to produce a low pressure area, and that will produce rain along the Gulf Coast. And there's a little bit of model differences as to exactly how far north the rain gets, but I think for the most part Tuesday should be dry for us. There's the European, and the GFS in pretty good agreement on exactly where the precipitation will be occurring. That low moves across the southeastern U.S., and another trough dives in across the Ohio River Valley and the mid-Mississippi River Valley. So that will be bringing some colder weather along with some rain to us for the early morning hours of Wednesday and into the first part of the day. I think we'll see the weather improving by the latter part of the day, but also that trough coming across the mid-Mississippi River Valley, dropping temperatures somewhat, and Wednesday is going to be a much cooler day. We may not get out of the 50s on Wednesday. When we get out to Thursday, we see that trough moves by briskly, but we're under a bit of a northwesterly flow, and so it looks like we'll probably see the rain move on out fairly quickly. So that the high pressure settles in over the area on Thursday. By Friday, we see another reinforcing shot of colder air coming in across the upper flow. And that hopefully, or at least it appears right now, will be somewhat limited with moisture. By Saturday, you can see that the long wave trough position is moved over the eastern half of the country once again. So I think we'll be cooler, not especially just horrendously or extremely cold, but certainly cooler with highs maybe only into the lower 60s. So we'll be pretty close to where we typically are. By Sunday, a week from today, we see the long wave trough position over the eastern half of the country. And once again, that sort of keeps things cool, using the 540 line as more or less a demarcation there. You can see the 540 line dipping into northern Alabama. Looking out into voodoo country, the pattern does shift somewhat according to the GFS, but it still remains active, and that's kind of the trend that we're seeing. We see a fairly substantial trough with that long wave trough position basically just to the west of the Mississippi River Valley around the 18th or so, so it looks like a wet period there. And then we see that at the end of the period, at 372 hours around the 24th, that the GFS has flattened out the pattern quite a bit, but we do see a number of little short waves, one over the southern Appalachians and another one back over the Four Corners area, so the pattern remains active. So we'll have to be watching for rain chances and moisture coming out of the Pacific with this kind of pattern, but certainly with this kind of zonal pattern, looks like it would be milder or even warmer. Well, thanks for tuning into the Weather Xtreme video. I expect James Spann to be back with the next edition first thing on Monday morning. In the meantime, stay tuned to the blog for the latest updates on the weather. Enjoy the day, and remember, it'll be a little cooler. And remember, don't forget, set those clocks forward, spring forward. Daylight savings time began at 2 a.m. Have a great day. Godspeed.
Thank you for trusting us to be your #1 source for news
in all of Central Alabama.
in back-to-back ratings periods.
More people watched ABC 3340
than any other station in Birmingham.